Good day guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be learning how to cut this wrap gown. So let's get right into it. So I did lay my fabric on the table. So to know the amount of fabric you are going to be laying on the table, so you are going to be using your biggest measurement in the body, which is your hips. Your hips divided by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, then 2 inches is, so that's it there. So I'm going to be measuring out the length of the gown I'm using. The length is 39 inches. So I'll be adding 2 inches allowance. So I'm going to use it to hem the downside in. So that'll be 41. So I'm going to mark out my 41 inches like that. Then I cut it out. So I'm going to be marking out my measurements on the fabric. So I'm going to come up, I'll mark my back. The back I'm using is 14 divided by 2, that's 7 inches. So I'll mark out my bust point. Then I also mark out my waistline. Then I come down by 9 inches as my waistline to get my hip line. So I come up to my bust point. So I measure my bust divided by 4 plus 3 inches allowance, and 1 inch is for sewing, the other 2 is for ease. So I did the same thing on my waist divided by 4 plus 3 inches, and I came down to my hip also, my hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches. So I marked it out. So I just connected the line like this so it will be easier for me to cut out. So I came up to my neckline, so I just marked out my armhole measurement, which is 7. So I just curved it out like this, then came up to my neckline also. So I'm going to be using 3.5 by 3 inches at the back. So the neckline, depending on how you want yours to be, I want my own neckline to come up a little bit, so that's why I'm using 3 inches. And guys, remember, we always cut out the back first if you are cutting a wrap gown on your fabric directly. I'm not using a pattern paper, I'm cutting on my fabric directly. So you want to cut your back first, so you'll be able to use the back bodies to cut your front bodies later. So I'm just going to cut out my measurement like that. So to cut out my front part, so I'm going to be laying the back side on the fabric like so. I'm just going to be laying it on it like this. So now to cut the wrap at the front, I'm going to be coming out 6 to 8 inches depending on anything we want to use. So me, I'm going to use this 6 inches. So I'm marking out my 6 inches at the front like this on the fabric that I laid down. So I'm going to be extending the line like this from my bust point. I'll extend the line like so. So I'm just going to be connecting that 6 inches to my neckline the way you are seeing it. So I'm just going to be connecting the 6 inches like this. And you're going to be extending that 6 inches all through the measurement of your gown. So I just marked out my own 6 inches throughout the gown like so. So I just mark it out so it will be easier for me to cut out. So I'm going to come up, then fold my back measurement like this. From the leg now, I'm just going to be drawing a line straight to come and meet where my bust point is that I already marked out the other time. So I just curved it out like so from the leg line. So I just marked it out like so. That's it. And after that, I have to shape out my back and my armhole measurements and my sides also. So I shaped out everything, then I cut it out. So after cutting it out, I'm going to be removing my back pattern. I'll remove it, so which means I already cut out one side of my wrap gown. So I'm going to be using this side to cut out the other side of my wrap gown. So I'm going to be laying my fabric like this on the table. So I'll take the other part of the front bodice that I already cut like this. I'm going to be taking that front part that I cut. I'll just flip it like this to the side so I can cut the other side of my wrap gown. So you want to make sure you lay it very well, so then you cut it out. So and this is what it looks like after cutting it out. So we already have the two front bodies. So after cutting, you want to take your fabric to the machine, then hem on the side like this. So you'll be doing it for the two sides. So you can either use your bias or cut out a long fabric of the materials to actually press it in. So I'm going to be using the fabric to do my own. So now to cut the belt, you're going to be attaching to the wrap gown. So you're going to be cutting two different lengths of belts. So you want to cut one that is exactly your waist measurement. So if your waist is 30, you're going to be cutting one of like 30 inches plus like 2 inches or 1 inch in allowance. Then the other one is going to be times 2 of your waist, because you are going to be wrapping the other longer one round your waist. So you're going to be cutting like one 30 inches and the other 60 inches. So you can make it 30 inches by 6, because you're going to be folding it into two. So this is what it looks like after joining the side there. I also aimed the other side. Then I joined my shoulder. This is what it looks like. So this is my belt. I've already stitched out the sides. So I'm going to be taking the longest belt that I made. So I'm going to come down to the side of my gown. So when I get to my waistline, I did not stitch down 2 inches, so I can pass the belt around it. So I'm just going to be taking the longest belt. So I'm going to be putting it inside the 2 inches allowance that I did not stitch. So I'm going to put like 1 inches in so I can stitch it down like so. So this is how you're going to do it. You just put it inside like this, then you just stitch it down on your machine. So why for the other one, I'm going to just take it like this, then I'll stitch it down at my waist line, also at the other side. So if you are going to be tying it like that, you are going to be tying that long one round your waist back to the front so you can tie. So this is what it looks like after sewing the belt to the sides. So then after that, I'm going to be cutting out my sleeve, then I join it to my gown. I was not able to record the final process of cutting the sleeve for this gown. My phone went off. But if you find this video useful, please comment, like and subscribe. Thank you.